Monday is the day that it is, but also what it is a new Mantip Sales video. Hello everyone, glad to have you back, yet again for another video. We're going to do a what's sold because we had some good sales this weekend. I had a nice weekend, just went out with my friends actually and had some fun. So that's a nice change of pace when you just go out and you go see a movie and you have a good day, you get back late and you just, for the full however many hours, you're not even keeping track, just had fun. But, of course, the eBay machine kept on turning. We had some sales, and I was very happy about that. And we're going to break down what we sold. Start off the weekend, we took an offer. This one I had out there for $10, and we took an offer for $7, plus shipping. We recently picked this up. You'll probably remember this. I think it was maybe even last video or the video before it. A very vintage old Snow White book. I thought this was cool. I was like, oh, shoot. That's definitely not the Disney one that I remember, and it's not. So I was like, all right, this is awesome. Immediately picked this up in the kids section. Kids section hardcover books are typically cheaper, so I think it was maybe like 10 cents. 10 cents of the $7 plus $3.82 shipping. Thumb up from me. We have a book lot here, and I was stressing last video how important book lots are. And this one, I remember I actually picked this up recently. We hadn't gone to the thrift store, and this was actually the thrift store from last video with the half off sale. I didn't get these for half off, but this was when that thrift store first opened back. They had so many Stuart Woods books, or at least I remember, this is how, yeah, it was there. I was trying to remember which thrift store it was. Doesn't really matter, does it? But yes, I picked all of those up, and I lotted these ones in particular together in their Stone Barrington books. But I made a separate lot of mixed series that I did. So yeah, always lot your stuff. Lot your stuff is a safe and easy way to get stuff out. And we got that. So 15 books, so a quarter each. So 15, and then do whatever that is. So 4, 8, 12. God, we're paying maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost $5. A little less than $5. If I'm doing my math correctly. For $20 plus $7.60 shipping, so probably get a little on shipping, but we'll see. Normally with big items like that, I like charging a little more because I don't know if I'll put them in a box or if they'll fit in a big bag. I normally do box on stuff this big, so we'll see. That's why I kind of charge quite a bit for shipping, even though it is media mail shipping. Next, a new and sealed CD. That's always good. New and sealed, it's a deal. We did. I think I've stressed this every video I've ever made. New and sealed, always get it, or at least check it out, because more times than not, and we had a whole video dedicated to it. I really like that video. On average, it's just a win. So yeah, new and sealed deal. We paid, cents for this, cents into $12. Very good for me right here. Front and back, there's your images, very quick. It's sealed. What else is there to say, right? It's perfect condition. Moving on here, this one was also in a recent video, a weird carpentry book. This one's like, oh, what? Why are you picking this up? Well, it was a weird vintage old book. Always look for my old book. Had a nice design on the front. Looked it up. It was selling pretty consistently. A lot of editions here, so you can find a lot of different types. Obviously, each one has its own different values, but on the whole, this was looking like around a $10 book. So probably put $1 in, $10 out, plus $3.82 shipping. Pretty standard. Pretty standard. I can't complain about it. That's kind of like what I think of when I think of books, is you get as far as like your typical book, but there are just better books, bigger books out there that you put like $1 in and get $20 out. But standard and ones that I will pick up, ones that I normally won't turn down, are like I can at least get $10 from it plus shipping. Without shipping, I won't do it, but plus shipping, $10 is around that mark. Unless it's like a good deal, like, oh, I paid 25 cents for this book, and I sell it for $5 plus shipping, then I'll normally do that. Like I said, you gotta look at what you feel comfortable with, what really makes sense, right? If you're making sense, you don't really want to do that. If you're making, a few bucks, for me, that's worth it. That's Dunkin's coffee, all right? That's how I view some of those items. But sometimes if you're making like pennies, I wouldn't bother with that. Like if you pay $1 in, then you sell something for $5 and you did free shipping, so you're like $4.19 in plus whatever fees. You're not making that much, but if you're charging shipping, you can get away with $5 flips if they're small enough, like cost of goods going in, and you get away with these $1 to $10s pretty well as well. So moving on, we have an art book. I've been telling you guys a little bit about these art books. This one is of Richmond's Van Districts. So yeah, art books are normally pretty good. This one's just a big old hardcover full of different pictures about this little area. Nice little book. I always try to pick out these little photo books. I find them pretty commonly, and they're the same price as normal books, $1 normally, unless I get it on a half off day or something like that. And yeah, this one sold for $12.22 plus around $5 shipping. That's perfectly fine. That's dollar in and a little more out than 10, right? So that's very good. I find these quite a lot, and that's why I always pick them. And hey, look at that. How do we do our images? We do a front, we do a middle with all the information, so that if people want it, they can find it, and we show off the back. And obviously, if there's any notable like wear and tear or any stains on the pages, we would try to show those off on images individually, but not this one, because it's alright. It's pretty good. It's in very good condition even. But yeah, if I notice something, I will always make sure to note it, like all caps, and have an image for it. Going to the figures, we don't just do media here, we do some figures, and we have some figures sell. Sand Slash and Sand Shrew. Once again, a little bit of a lot, and if you are, in the know at all about any of these series that have like toys or whatnot, you're able to do these things. You know that Sand Shrew's Sand Slash is the evolution of Sand Shrew. So doing things like that, having that knowledge, if you have any figures or you find any figures and they're from the same series, you can lot them together. Find figures are very good. You can't find a lot of them by me, and that's why I don't do a lot of figures. But when you do, they're always pretty good, especially, vintage is just how it is. It's artificial value because it's old, right? And it can't be really made again. I mean, they can make these again, but they will never be the original, right? So there's stuff like that, lotting these together, lotting these old figures together. I don't really do a lot of figures, so images are always so weird. I have in the description, I say, please feel free to ask any and all questions. I'm happy to give you more details and images, because I'm not a master of this. I kind of found some, and I find them, and I just try to do the best I can to show off every angle of them. And like I said, try to have that good customer experience when they're coming into your store. They don't feel like, this guy's trying to hide something. I'm trying to say, please, God, ask me, because I know I'm fallible here. And I try to invite some conversation. Every so often I do have people, can you show me this? Or what edition is it? Can you flip it over on the back and give me that details? And I will. I always do. Because I always think putting in the little extra time to get a sale is always worth it. Going here, we have a Standard of Excellence. This one's pretty cool. It's sheet music. Again, obviously a little bit of a lot here. Some sheet music. I do deal in sheet music sometimes in these weird, musical learning books. I find a lot of the Disney song books. I find those quite frequently. I normally sell those pretty well. I actually have one downstairs I picked up, I think last week at a thrift store. It was another Disney song book. And yeah, you find those pretty frequently, and they sell pretty well. A lot of these, if you just find normal ones, they really won't do you that much. Like these were like 25 cents each, so 50 cents into $7 plus $3.82 shipping. Not bad at all. I won't complain about that. But yeah, so a lot of these I would say aren't worth it, but make sure you check them out. I did these because they were a lot, so I was like, okay, I can lot these together and they'll probably be okay. And they were. They definitely were. 50 cents into $7.50 plus $3.82. Double thumbs up from me. Double thumbs up. But when you're dealing with them kind of normally or one-off, I found that they just normally don't really do it individually. So I'd be definitely not just picking them up. Just like, oh yeah, music treats. Oh, that's good. No, make sure you are looking at these and making sure they're good. This is one of those cautionary items. They can be good. Most times they fall a little flat. Stephen King, however, is always pretty good. Always pretty good. A lot of Stephen King here that I just kind of collected over time. We have a few paperbacks, one hardcover. It's been so long, I don't remember the cost of these, but like I said, standard is like $1 for a hardcover and like 25, maybe 50 cents for the paperbacks. So yeah, I like my lots. Stephen King is always a good author to lot up. You don't need a lot of books to get a pretty decent flip on them. sold it for $16.66 because I always try to make little horror, creepy jokes whenever I'm dealing in horror stuff. Like I remember, like I think I charged like 666 shipping on some horror thing. Yeah, it was like I do little things like that with my pricing just to try to theme it. Completely stupid. Probably doesn't work. Probably just annoying because now I have to deal with 666 instead of any other normal number. But I just try to have fun with it because if you're just doing stuff and you're being boring and being miserable, you're not living at all. I like having fun when I can. You know what I mean? I try to fit some fun stuff in. And yeah, it's one of those strategies I use. And I always think if I'm scrolling through and it's like, oh, this guy he put that there and now it looks like that. Oh, this guy's a real guy. I'm a real human being, not just a bot on eBay, right? So that's the one dumb little thing. Probably isn't really true as far as like customer psychology, but as far as my psychology goes, I get entertainment at seeing stuff like that. The Jerusalem windows. This one was one that was going for a lot of money if you had the right edition. Now, I didn't have the right edition. I had the first like revised edition. So it was a little less. I still got my $10 out of it plus $3.82 shipping. Not complaining, but I remember when I first found it, I was like, wow, this is a winner. It was just kind of a standard item. Standard's fine as long as I'm not in the red, I'm in the green. Again, we show off. Hey, look at that. There's my phone. Sometimes reflections do that. And yeah, we showed off the back here because obviously there's some massive wear here. This was probably worth a little more, maybe like $15, and I put it down to $10 because of the wear and tear that this book has. That's what I try to do to make it appealing. Since the dust jacket itself is not appealing, maybe the price needs to be. The last but not least, a fiction book. Fiction books are always pretty good. You get your first edition hardcover, Witch's Brew by Terry Brooks. This is just obvious fiction. This just looks cool, very nice, very first edition, very hardcover, and then very dust jacket. Actually, very good condition. I probably should have put very good. But this one I remember I listed quite a while ago. This is a pre-YouTube, year-old store. This is pretty early days for me. So it stayed on here for quite a while. So I shouldn't say like this one in particular is very good, but this kind of archetype of a listing list, like fiction, first edition, hardcover, very nice dust jacket, a fairly well-known author. This will normally, in most cases, get you something around $20, definitely at least $10. It's pretty good. I always keep an eye out whenever I see something with a dragon on it, with a sword, with some knights. You pull that aside, and you're like, all right, let's start looking at the details. Is this the first edition? It's obviously a hardcover, and it has its dust jacket. And you start doing those book analytics that I always like showing off and telling you guys, because that is how I do what I do. I do it again. I'll give you a little spiel. I do this while I'm at college, while I'm doing school. So I'm going to thrift stores by my school, by my home. I'm just doing this out of the garage here, the box office, as I like to call it, because God knows we have plenty of boxes and plenty of stuff as well. And yeah, so like doing books for me is a nice, quick, easy way. And knowing these little standard things like, oh, it's a Valentine book or a Bantam book, knowing that, classical fiction is good. I shouldn't say, I don't know if this quantifies as classical. I'm not well learned in my English words, I guess, to describe book and literature. But I do know that this is good. Keep an eye out for books like these. There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, everybody. The end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all have, a good weekend. You had a good weekend. You have a good week set up for you. You have your plans. You're going to do your things. You're going to knock them out of the park. I believe in you. Hopefully you believe in me. Do I have anything I need your help with this week? No. I think I'm okay. I think it's a boring week. I'm very happy for it. I lost my voice a little bit this weekend. I was being a little party animal. But I still wanted to show up here on Monday and give you guys your little, what's sold, and the little update. I said at the end of the last video I'd be back Monday. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, all right? So we will not lie to you again and let you go. I will probably see you this upcoming weekend for a new video on what we did this whole week. So I'm gonna get to the rest of the week. I'm gonna let you guys get to the rest of your week. I'm gonna give you guys how we always end this video: a soldier salute, a double one, and a double peace. and double goodbyes. Goodbye, goodbye.